When you look politically what is happening in America, you look at states such as what Colorado used to be, and Nevada, and Arizona, and New Mexico. You look at what just happened in the last election cycle, 2019, with the state of Virginia, the state that gave us our first, second, and was first and third presidents, the author of our Declaration of Independence, the author of our United States Constitution. And basically because of 4 counties, the state of Virginia was completely flipped. Mainly Northern Virginia, Fairfax and Prince William counties. And look at the agenda that has come into the state of Virginia, which was part of the birthplace of America's freedom. When you think about how the Sons of Liberty once stood for freedom and liberty in the state of Massachusetts, when you think about those patriots that came out of their taverns, came out of their homes in Lexington Green, and now think about what Massachusetts represents today. Look at what is happening in the great state of Texas, where every single major population center in the state of Texas is not run by constitutional conservatives. It's not really run by Democrats like they used to have Democrats in Texas, the old blue dog conservative Democrats. It's being run by progressive socialists who are attacking our businesses, who are attacking individuals, their rights, their freedoms, their liberties. And that's in the great state of Texas, where everyone across the United States of America believes that there's going to be a stand for liberty and freedom. It's going to happen right here in Texas. There's a fight that is happening. And the fight that will define the United States of America is the ideological battle between constitutional conservatism and progressive socialism, and that is here. And if we cannot go out and wholeheartedly deliver that message, if we cannot go out proactively on offense and deliver that message, if we cannot go into the major population centers where the Democrats believe that they're the strongest, but yet you see the greatest amount of failure of their policies and their programs in the places that they own. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about what is happening in America, it's about the rule of law, it's about the mob rule. And the mob rule is coming from the places where the Democrats have been in charge of for 60, 70 years. We have got to get in there and deliver our message. Now, some of you all may be nervous about someone else coming in and being the chairman of the Republican Party of Texas. In my 22 years in the United States military and in the 245 years of the United States Army, there have been a whole lot of changes of command. But we sing a song, and that song says the Army goes rolling along. We don't stop. If a leader goes down, someone else is ready to step up. They're ready to come in and say, what do we sustain, what do we improve, and we continue to do what we call Charlie Mike, continue the mission. So whatever is going on that is good and positive, that is right with the Republican Party of Texas right now will continue on. But it's time to start looking at where we can make improvements. If you're concerned about fundraising, since this old soldier got back from Afghanistan in 2008, I've raised over $50 million in congressional races and for conservative causes. I can raise money. The important thing about raising money is that resources come when people know that there's a return on their investment, when people know that there's a movement, when people know that there's a message. And we have to be able to go out and run ads. I think that's one of the things that Republicans have not been able to do very successfully. We are our own worst marketing and communications and PR firm. We have got to change that. And I think it starts right here with this Republican Party of Texas. We've got to challenge the other side. I don't think we do a good job of challenging. I think we allow them to define the battle space. I think we allow them to define the narrative. I want you all to go, when you get home, and download an incredible documentary that was just released yesterday, right here in the state of Texas. That documentary is called Uncle Tom. That documentary was released on Juneteenth. Juneteenth is an important date in the state of Texas because Juneteenth is all about emancipation. We are talking about a battle to emancipate people right now. Not from physical chains of enslavement, but from the chains of economic enslavement, from the chains of victimization, from the chains of the welfare nanny state. And sadly, If you want to talk about the real failure, we don't need to have the discussion about racism. And it's about time that Republicans stop getting dragged down into the rabbit hole that the other side wants to talk about, and we start determining what's to be discussed in America. The real problem in America is not about a discussion on race. You're looking at a guy that was born in a blacks-only hospital in 1961. My dad was just a corporal in World War II. He challenged me to be the first officer in the family. And just 3 days ago, maybe some of y'all saw, my nephew just got selected to be a lieutenant colonel in the United States Army. That's the stories that we have to start telling. The stories about being victors and not being victims. We've got to go out and tell people that Lyndon Johnson's Great Society programs have failed the urban population centers. That's the real story. That's the real cause of what we see happening in the United States of America. We have to start telling people that the greatest purveyors of systemic racism in America are the Democrats. And that's what I want to do. I want to go on offense. I want to fight. And if there's a place to fight, it's in the great state of Texas. There's a reason why the entire Democrat Party came against a freshman member of the United States House of Representatives in 2012. The George Soros put $5 million in against him. Nancy Pelosi put in $3 million against him. An organization came from San Francisco to South Florida against him because of what he stood for and what he represented. They could not have that image out in the public sphere in the United States of America. That image will be leading the Republican Party of Texas. It's not about my name, it's about what we represent. I always remember that 2 years after Juneteenth, the Republican Party of Texas was founded by the very same people that found out in 1865 that they were just made free. That's our history. That's our legacy. We free the enslaved. We offer empowerment, not enslavement. We talk about individual sovereignty, not collective subjugation. We talk about growth, opportunity, and prosperity. We don't talk about enslaving people. We don't talk about destroying will and determination. We don't destroy families. We don't destroy and kill and murder the unborn. But we just need to have the courage to stand and say it. That's what I want the opportunity to do for you here in the great state of Texas. And I think that we can then encourage all Republicans in the state of Texas to do as my mother taught me when she said that a man must stand for something or else he'll fall for anything. America is watching Texas. Colorado didn't do it. New Mexico didn't do it. Nevada didn't do it. Arizona is almost about to not do it. Virginia didn't do it. Texas will defeat progressive socialism. I will deliver that. God bless you all. God bless you.